Can you hear me? Do let me know if you can hear me. Because I've been talking for 5 minutes, and I'm such a silly sausage. I will go live and I'll check everything, and like all of it, like I just move my microphone and like accidentally mute it all the time. So maybe I need to get a different microphone. I don't know, but do let me know if you can hear me. Oh, Louis saying, yes, we can hear you. Brilliant. Yes. So if you didn't hear me before, yes, can now. Hi, everyone. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Lou. Hi, Teresa. Leslie's here as well. Good evening, Beth. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to bring this back for 1 sec. So we will be playing with Earth Colorway this lovely Sunday evening. I went for such a long walk this afternoon again, and then on the way home I got caught in the rain. But I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna just play with these beads this evening. So I quite like just like sit and chill with my beads. I think I need it. Hello, Barbara from Florida. Really nice to see you. Oh, Nicole from Oregon. Hello to you as well. Good evening, Caroline and Gail from California. Ooh, we got a lot of lovely ladies of you here. Right. Okay. So when I start designing anything, and I was just thinking like to do a wider pattern with these beautiful kelps. And I think we should add something inside, in sort of in between it. So we got a couple of different ways how, well, there's loads of different ways we can connect these together. And I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit more actually for you. So these beautiful beads have got 2 holes on them. They're like little triangles and they're going from the bottom to the top. So whichever way we weave them about, we can have them in a beautiful bracelet or like, a straight line, or we can curve it. We could do loads of different things with it. So we could have something where these triangles are in fact looking away. Like if you imagine this is like a ribbon bracelet, so they will be kind of like looking away, and then we can add something in the middle. So we could add one of these beauties in the middle. Although what I kind of like, I do like the look of it in the middle, but for me, because they rounded, I think I want something a bit more squarish. And these Pyrrhoses, they also got such a funny names. I think they would sit really nicely in the middle. Let's just get I think that would look really good. So I think have something like that in the middle. But we could have an edge where we have them sitting looking in, and we just have like a row of seed beads or something to mask our. And actually what would look really, really good in the middle of this, and I know I'm not supposed to go and, well, maybe this one, let's have a look at this one. A gem duo would look really good, but maybe this one will fit in as well. So if I put this guy in there, the only problem we're running in is that the shape is not diamondy enough. So I think it would be nice to have a gem duo in the middle. That would be probably the right size. So we could have like an easier pattern just like that. But I think gem duo would work better. Good evening, Mina. Good evening, Rachel, Emilia, Diane, Angela, Wendy from Felixton. Good evening to you as well. Leslie's asking, is anyone else from Canada? If you are watching from Canada, do let us know in the comments. I love this, that we like tune in from all around the world, and what we have all in common is the love for the beads and love for the craft. Right. Okay. So taking this one a little bit further, I think like we could either put like some seed beads or something in between, but we could equally get another shape of bead and have it in between our little triangles. I think this one would make it like quite big. However, because we got a hole going in the middle, we could perhaps add it in, add something in as well. So we got so many different options. This is what I love about these beads, that they do fit together perfectly. They really just do. They are there's so many different options. Equally, we could add one of these in. I think they sit might like a little bit more towards the top. This would sit a little bit tighter as well. And you go in when you're playing with them just like that. Like you just need to make them sit. So I think that would be a nice little unit as well. And then we would have some seed beads on the top, and then we could join the whole things up with some seed beads. I quite like this combination as well. So we got loads of different options. We can add loads of different things together because there are so many different shapes. I think, you know, they're just really nice to work with. I kind of like the look of this one, to try this one first. What do you think? So shall we try the Helios? I'm going to get these out. Shall we try the Helios first and those triangles, and we're going to pop these little Pyrrhus beads in the middle. And I think the way how we're going to go with this, we're going to create little units. And then we're going to have to link these up somehow. So we can either have them like joined seed beads at the top, or and take, ooh, that would look really good. So if I had another one, so instead of having the pattern growing this way, if it would be growing that way, they could share like 3 seed beads in the middle, and that would give us our next unit. Just saying, hi everyone, I was sitting on the waiting screen. I didn't realize you was all here already. Oh, bless you. Yeah, so this is the first time you're joining in on Sunday night, because I'm doing it a little bit longer. Like two hours, usually we go over 2 hours. That sometimes what happens, if I multi-stream to multiple platforms, then the messages stop coming in, and then like this is really important for us to be able to communicate, because I will ask you questions like, which bead do you want me to put on, or what do you want me to do, what do you want me to put there. Oh, Therese is here from Georgia, USA as well. Good evening to you as well, my lovely. Right, okay, so we're going to try this little pattern first, and then we're going to, as we go along in the evening, we're going to play around with other stuff as well. Now, these Chaos beads, they comes as super capes as well, which they got like the little dome to the top. I do like the look of this as well, but I think perhaps we could do a different pattern with those one just in a bit. This looks nice. They all look nice. All of these beads look nice. Right, okay, so I'm going to get these out of the way. And we're going to start playing with these beauties. This is the beauty of this pack. And this is, if this is the first time you're watching, we're using a Parpuka pack from Untitled Beads, which has got 15 different Parpuka beads in there. Like every single one of them we stock. And really wanted to put something together like this because all these beads are fitting together so perfectly. So like you're gonna use, like here we're using 3 different shapes at the same time. So that's like, you know, it's nice to have everything there at your fingertips to be able to use. And as well, Simon has given us a really good discount on this one because there's 30% off of the kits. Right, so I'm going to need some gold seed beads. Let's have a look what I have here, because I am going to use size 11, I think. I think size 15, we won't be able to go through it enough. So we're going to need to use size 11, and I just want to grab a nice gold. And I just had that gold out, and I put it away. It's always the way. I was like, before I came to live, I was just like tidying up quickly, and I moved my seed beads about. So I'm just going to get this gold one back out. And I think that would be, ooh, but like, look, the amber would look nice as well. What shall we use? Amber. This is what I got you here for. We could use this amber. We could use a solid gold, or we could use a gold. Like a silver lined gold. Do let me know. Which one do you want me to use? I think that will look quite nice. But with the lighter ones look nice as well. So light, medium, or dark. I think that's how we're going to put it. Light, medium, dark. Nicole is saying gold, so we're going to go with probably the gold. Oh, Dorothy's saying she's got the sky bundle. We have been working with the sky bundles for a couple of weeks, so I thought for this one, I'm gonna like mix it up a little bit and just work with the earth, and then maybe for the next couple of weeks. Don't forget, we will be doing these creation stations until the end of November. So not November. I don't know what month I'm in now. October. End of October. So we got another 4 sessions. Oh, you know me. Like, I don't know what day of the week is. I don't know what date it is. I don't even know what month you're in. Are we in 2021? Well, never mind. Right, so I'm just going to leave this little unit here for a little reference that how I'm going to have to sew together. And this is the first time you're joining in. Then what we do here, we design things together, and you get involved saying me like what colors to use and what colors do you like, or what shapes do you like, or we kind of like designing together. And if you got any questions about any beading, it doesn't just have to be just this, because once we get going, we start chatting. And then please put a Q in front of your question and pop into the chat so I can make sure that I answer it for you. Right, okay, so Nicola said gold. Lucy said she likes the amber. Those are two. Mina saying I got my kit from October. Caroline saying dark, so we're going to use the dark one as well. Dorothy's saying is the one this one's used. Let's use the dark one. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a few seed beads and pop them to the side. We're probably not even going to need that many. I'm going to grab a few of these onto my mat, the few of the Pyrrhus beads. They're right in front of me. Sometimes things can be right in front of you and you can't see them. Now the Helios is this beautiful autumn rainbow color. So as we go along, I think what I'm going to try to do, so I'm going to try to pick the colors. So I got similar colors for one unit. So one unit we might have this beautiful burgundy. The next unit we might have this olive color, and I think that's really going to make it stand out even more. Right, thread and needle next. I'm just going to grab one of these threads. I love using Supalon. It's a this is a thicker one of the Supalons. There is 2 different sizes. I probably use this one the most, the Supalon size D. I do use the double I if I'm working with 15s or if I'm doing a pattern, but I have to go through the same bead over and over again. Right, just quickly doing my needle. Just cut then. So if you have any trouble threading your needle, which I was like, as the years go on, having more and more trouble. So there's a couple of little tips for you. So always cut your thread in an angle, because if I cut my thread in an angle like that, I'm not along, I have got a fresh cut, but on my cut, can you see I got a pointy end? Come on, camera. I got a pointy end on my cut. So then, if you got lipstick or lipstick on it, still stands together. And then it's much easier to thread it. Now I'm bringing the needle to the thread. Can you see that? And then once it's through, I'm just going to pull this one through. But, and then I just drop it. But cutting the thread at an angle is the easiest. Like that's the best trick I can give you if you're struggling threading your needle. There we go. So we're going to start with the very first unit. I'm going to go into the Helios bead. So I'm going to pick up one of these. And then we're going to have to be... I'm actually going to pull this to the side a little bit. So I want to make room. Make room for everything, because otherwise I'm going to be crossing myself on the screens. Right, okay. So I went through the Helios bead. So I'm going to come down one side of the pattern, go into the Helios bead on the other side, Then I'm going to come around and come back down again. Now we're going to have to run around a couple of times, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to run around the inner, because don't forget these, and I'm just going to stick the 2 needles back in. These are going to have 2 holes in them. So that's going to be hole number 1. And then this is going to be hole number 2. So when we're doing the units with the Helios beads, I think we're going to run in the inner side. And then right at the end, when we made our bracelet, we can come back and add further seed beads on the outside. And that's when we're going to go through on the outer beads. So anytime when you're working with 2 hole beads, and they don't want to, like, you know, the holes are going in different directions in them. The easiest thing what I can suggest is to put it down on your mat right in front of you and just examine it. What way do you have to pick up that bead? So the holes are going, there is one there and there is one there. So I know I have to go in the inside one, and I'm just going to put them in order how I need to pick up. And this is just makes things easier, because especially when I'm doing live, so I'm just looking where the 2 hole is, that's going to go to the bottom. When I'm doing a live, or when I'm like chatting to somebody while I'm beading, there is really easy to make mistakes. So by putting it down on your mat, you just kind of like reassuring yourself the right way to pick that pattern up. Right, so I'm going to pick up these. So I picked up a triangle from the pointy end towards the flat end, and then another one from the pyros, and then another one from the end when there is 2 holes towards when there is 1 hole. Now I'm going to pick up this other Helios. I'm going to take this down, and now I'm going to have to turn back. So usually when I've worked with Helios in the past, 3 seed beads does the trick at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up 3 seed beads, and I'm going to come back through the other hole on the Helios bead, because it's got a hole on each. I like to refer to these as little birdies because of that sort of you got a hole on the other wing as well. Good evening, Julie. Right, okay, so now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to have to reverse how I picked up these beautiful triangles. So again, I'm going to go from where there is 1 hole towards where is 2 hole. Then I'm going to pick up these. I love these beads. They just look like little houses. They got like the top of them. Can you see? They're like a little bit shaped. Now I'll show them to you just in a sec. Let me just pick these up. And then once we've done the unit, I can bring it up and show it to you. And I'm going to go through, but we're going to repeat this over and over again. So we're just working out the pattern, and then we're going to come back and play with it even more. So I think they're going to sit quite nicely. And when we come back and add the other side, then it's going to straighten them out even more. So I think they're gonna look good. So I'm gonna pick up another 3 seed bead, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna go back through the Helios bead. I'm gonna go back through these chaos. I wanna get all the way to the other side and come out of my Helios bead. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more for you. And I just take these beads out from the background. Right now, I'm going to go into my seed beads. And now we're going to have to work out how many seed beads do we need to be able to go through the other hole. So if I'm going to go through the 3, which is already on there. I reckon it's going to be another 3 seed beads. Just by looking at by eye, but I might have to take it back and add a 4th one or take one away. So I'm going to go through, but this time, can you see we already been to the hole here? I'm going to go through the outer hole, just like that. I'm going to pop it down and just evaluate it, just see. I think that's going to sit. That's going to sit nicely. Obviously, this one is going to go around, just like that. So I'm coming out of the hole here, maybe 4 seed beads actually, because can you see? I can see, no you can't. Let me move it up a little bit. So I can see quite a bit of a thread here. I'm pulling this tighter. It's still, so I think we need 4 seed beads, not 3. So just, we won't be able to see the thread path. So stepping back. How do you remember all of those names? I don't, Lucy. You know the arcos, I call them acorns and all sorts of things. So I'm just going to come back. I'm going to pick up an extra seed bead, then go back through them, and then just pop it down and evaluate it again. Just have a look if that's the number which is going to work. Right, let me just pull this up. I think, yeah, that works nicely. It gives a nicer round the edge there. So I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads here on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go through 3 seed beads on the top. And then turn. I'm going to pick up another 4 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to come through, just swap that around. These beautiful chaos. And finally, I'm going to pick up another 4 seed beads and go back into the middle 3. So with that one, well, we actually, what we could do now, before we step any further, we could run down on the seed beads and add more seed beads in here to hug our pattern completely. Shall we do that, or what would you like to do? Let me know. Shall we add seed beads or no seed beads? If we add seed beads, again, we can continue the bracelet this way, or we can continue the bracelet that way as well, or well, whatever is it going to be end up. I kind of like it this way, so I might be inclined to add the seed beads on, but do let me know in the chat. Seed beads or seed bead or not to bead? not the seed bead. Do let me know in the chat. I'm just going to have a quick sip of my drink. Good evening, Julie. Right, seed bead or not to bead? Nicola is saying seed bead. I'm gonna go. Wendy's saying seed bead. Yeah, more seed beads. Lucy's saying. That must be a conversation. Birdie. Oh, birdie beads, brittle beads. I can't read tonight either. You know, like I was really naughty last night because I didn't actually go to sleep until 1 a.m. I was watching something like, you know, when you start to watch a series. I was watching Ted Lasso, and when you get in it and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna watch one more episode. I'm just gonna watch one more episode. So I'm gonna go through these 4 beads while I'm talking, and before I knew it, it was like gone 1 a.m. So I better get to bed. So I went to bed. Like, I think I was asleep before my head hit the pillow. That's like, I know, I was like quite tired and sleepy. So the cat, about 20 past, maybe 4:15, started crying by my door, and she was like kind of like grabbing the carpet up because she was hungry at 4:15. She remembered she's hungry, so she was waking me up for food. So and I couldn't go back to sleep afterwards. So I only had like 3 hours of sleep last night. So I think I'm doing very well. Like Lauren is saying, all of you saying seed beads, so we're gonna go and add more seed beads. Now, I have to guess the amount, but here I'm not going to go to the seed beads first. I reckon we're going to need about 6. So I'm going to add 6 seed beads onto my needle. Take them down. Oh, Lucy's saying she started watching Wentworth, and I'm going to pull this up. So the 6 is not going to be enough. because we're going to have a gap. So if I pull this through, what's going to happen, it's just going to bunch this up. So we definitely need an extra one. So now I'm going to add another one on. Always just like whenever designing anything, just add a bead and take a bead away. It's really that easy. And I'm going to see, I think 7 is going to be the right number. So I'm going to go to all of these seed beads to the other side and add 7 beads there as well. And then I think we're going to hook into, we're going to decide if you're going to, what way we're going to go with these beads. Obviously, we could dress it up and we could add crystals and pearls and other bits of pieces in the middle as well. All sorts of little things. You could like cross over with a pearl in the middle. I think that would look really good as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then back up here. There we go. So we got our little like round, almost round unit, but not too round. So are we gonna do this? And I'm just gonna pop this down. Just go through those 3. Are we gonna do this vertical or horizontal? That's the front of it. Vertical or horizontal? How are we gonna add these together? And actually, I'm just looking on this here, and I just had an idea as well. So this is gonna be horizontal. If you want to continue it horizontal, or we want to continue vertical, do let me know which one you like. And I'm just gonna put something out while you're letting me know that, because I just had another idea here. So horizontal, vertical, what way do we want to go with the next unit? Instead of having the Helios there, we actually could have the super chaos. So I'm just going to add this onto my mat, and I think it's going to work out really nicely as well. So we could have this in here. Ooh, we could have a Paros in between as well. This would look good as well, I think. This would be a pretty pattern. Right, we try this one next, but I'm gonna do one more unit of that one, and then we're gonna try this one next. I think this one will look really, really cool as well. And then again, we can continue this way or we can continue that way. We got options as well. Right, everybody's saying horizontal, so we want to carry on that way. That Nicola is saying horizontal, Lona is saying horizontal. Hi friend, nice to see you. Nice to see you here. Let us know where you're watching from. We got people from all over the world, really, from Canada to America to the UK, all over. So these are Parpuka beads. If you don't know, Parpuka is a French designer. So if you want to do horizontal, we need to weave our thread around, and we want to come out on the other side of that 7 bead we added, and then we're going to add the first unit on there again. So Parpuka is a French designer, and they manufacture these beads in the Czech Republic, and there is so many different shapes. And what I love about Parpuka beads, that loads of the beads like this, we can create patterns. So all of these are 2-hole beads. We can create, like these are 2-hole beads as well. We can create very beautiful patterns, adding them together and do all sorts of nice things with it. I think at the end, like if I did like turn this into a bracelet, I'd really want to add a pearl or a crystal or something in the middle just to hinge that gap. But let's just do another segment on this one so we'll see how does it look. How does it look? And what we do here on Sunday, so we're playing together, so you are influencing the make just as much as I'm doing it. Be like, you know, I ask you how many seed beads to add on or what shape to add on, and we just like create together, really. We just have a little fun here, and we never really know what we end up with. Right, so I'm just gonna pick it up my little triangle chaos. So from the side where you only got one hole, then you picked up this beautiful, I said I'm going to bring it up and show you. Can you see, like, it's a shape of a house, like it's even got like a little roofs, and then you got the holes on there. So I picked up those, and then I picked up another, this triangle shaped one just from where the two holes. So I'm going to go through the last 7 beads again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and add this on. So we are going to effectively, but then it might want, if I'm going to pull that way as well, we might have needed one extra seed bead there and go into the second one. Well, we can work on that later on. So once we work out the pattern here, we kind of go and perfect it. So last week we were playing with these, and like, can you see, like, we've been adding different middles in there, and they turned out like they look completely different, and they're just little makes to you know, the little pendants, or like, you know, anything you want to play with. So I'm gonna go through those beads again, and then I'm gonna have to, if I'm going to, I need to get to this side. I need to get to this side, because otherwise we're gonna have to pick up the beads in a way. So I can come out of here, pick up 4 and pick up the Helios, yes. So if we do that, let's go through these beads we just added. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick up 4 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna pick up my Helios from the top of the wing towards the bottom of the wing, and I'm gonna come down on the other side of that triangle, and that should just put it where it should be. And we're gonna join this seed beads up with those ones when we go around. Now on the other side, I'm gonna pick up a Helios, and I'm gonna pick up 3 seed beads. I think once we kind of like work out a pattern, then we can work out all sorts of different pathways for how that pattern would work, because there is so many different ways you can have the same look. There we go, and coming up, and now I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads on that side as well. Come on, thread, straighten up. One, 2, 3. Just first we're kind of like working out the look we want to go through. So I'm going to go through this Helios, the little triangle, and the other Helios on the other side, all the way to the other side. Right, so let's just pop it down and let's have a look. Yep, we got the same. So now what we need to do, we need to come through here, pick up 4 seed beads, go to these guys, pick up 4 seed beads, and then we are back, circling around and just adding the seed beads in here as well. I think it needs something else. Like, I think it will need something else, but as a start of a pattern, I think it's looking great. Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you for the subscribe, and thank you for the thumbs up as well. Really, really appreciate it. Every little thumbs up and every one really helps the channel out. Because I love beadwork. I've been beading for too many years. Over, I think, like, when you're saying it out in numbers, it sounds like really bad, but I've been beading for like 17 years now, and I really do love it. So I used to do, if you are new, I used to do all sorts of different crafts. Like, I still do. Oh, I needed 4, not 3. I still do time to time when I get time. I still do knitting. I still do all sorts of different things. But when I came across beading, it was my medium, because there was just so many different textures. There is so many different things to play with, and I just knotted my thread. There is so many different colors. The possibilities are really endless with beads and beadwork, and you can have so many different styles in jewelry as well. And as well as jewelry, you can use your techniques in home decor as well. There is so many things you can do with beads, and I really do love it. I love making it. I love embroidery, bead embroidery. I love all sorts of different things. So this is what we do here. We just play on Sunday nights. I used to do this on Saturday, but in the autumn I moved it to Sunday so we can do it, because on Saturday I only did it like once or twice a month, but Sunday we can do it every Sunday. So every Sunday at 7 p.m. UK time, which is, I don't know what time is where you are. We are just sitting down and beading and sort of having a relaxing end to the week. Right, I'm pulling it through. I think that's coming together. I'm not entirely happy with it, how it is sitting, but we're going to improve on that just in a minute. I think there is not enough beads, or maybe we just need to concentrate on the shapes first and then start adding beads later. We're going to have to work the ads. I'm going to come to this last seed bead. I'm just going to add the 4 seed bead needed on this side and the 7 on the other side, that just to finish that unit off. And then we're going to have a look, how does it look? How does it look all together? Just pulling this up. I also run a virtual bead club if you are new, and some of the ladies are here. Lucy's here. She's in the bead club. It's just a really nice, we do every, again, UK time, 7 p.m. on Thursday and Friday at lunchtime. At midday, we have got a 2-hour session on Zoom, and just each day we're doing a different thing. Last week we made it a beaded cross, and next week we're going to be doing a heart. So that's worth to check it out. And even if you're just like coming in and chatting with like-minded people. Right, I'm adding my 7 on this side. Good evening, Edward. Just going to pop this down onto the mat. There we go. Right, I think we need to find a better thread bars. I kind of liked how they look, but I think because our helios are curved and these were more like a straight line, we're gonna have a try the unit with a super chaos instead of the helios. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna cut this unit off. So what I always do, and anytime when I'm designing anything, I'll make little swatchlets like this, like a little couple of inches of beadwork. I will just make it up, and I don't discard this. I pop it onto the side. That's the last thing I'm going to do, is cut it off, because this is a reminder that what worked and what didn't work. Right, I'm going to have a look at this one, because I think they're going to sit together better, maybe. We see. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to pick up the pattern we had on the mat. So that's going to be one of our triangle, and then this one is going to have to come in what way? This way. There we go. So from the single hole side, I'm just going to pull this up. We also have a really nice, I just pulled it all the way through. We also have a really nice handmade grip on the, so let me sort the end out. So usually I just leave the bobbin on. Oh no, I got a knot on the thread. Let me get a new thread. It was right by the top. Usually, just quickly thread another needle. Then it's saying it would have been a better horizontal the other way. Yeah, I think we need to play with it, but I think we need to see how this one's going to come together, because I think with the super chaos might sit better. Just have to have a look. Right, okay, so any of you, if you have watched the last week's or week before and you sit there and you played, please do send me a picture of your make, so I can include it in the production. I can show it off to everybody. Right, and then I'm gonna need to go, hold on, this needs to be this way, that's the front of it. And then I came up from the single to the double end. I'm gonna pick up, I reckon, 2 seed beads. I'm still gonna go with these amber ones. I'm gonna come back on the other side. Just pull this up nice and tight. And I think I need to pick up the triangle again from the single to the double. So what we're doing here is like, this is totally off the path, I guess. This is totally off-roading here with this beadwork because we're making it up together. Yes, that's right. And I'm single. Once I sew one together, and then I will talk you through what side and how I picked it up. Couple of seed beads again. Brenda sent me a picture. I will go and grab that just in a sec. I need to open up Messenger. Right, so that's that end. This on this end. There we go. And I'm going to go back through all of them, all the way to the top where the seed beads are. And we either ignore the second holes. Oh, I think that's going to look nice. So that's already sitting better than the one with the Helios. Can you lift your work up a bit? So I have been playing with the camera. Yeah. Okay, let me move my chair. Because what happens when you're beading and you're doing beadwork, like you always move the beadworks towards you, and you have to like reposition yourself to be able to get back to work. So we got 2 options here. We either carry on and add more units, or we go and add the seed beads in between. But I think we should add the seed beads in between, but we're not going to add extra seed beads at the end here, and then we see how we look. But the unit already is sitting much better how it's sit. And again, we can do it horizontally or we can do it vertically. But I'm liking how this one sits. So I'm going to come out of these 2. I'm going to pick up 3 to start with and see if that's going to be enough. So 1, 2, 3 seed beads. I'm going to take this down and I just pop it down on the mat. I'm just going to measure it right next to it. I think we might. So the hole is just there. We need a 4th one. We definitely need a 4th one. And then go through these lovelies. There we go. I'm going to pick up another 4. Diane is saying she likes this one already better. I like this one better as well. Sometimes this designing and jewelry, and I said this last week as well, is you can have a perfect design for the first time, and sometimes it's going to be the 10th time. But every single time when something doesn't work, like I enjoy this process, just playing with beads, just sitting there and playing with beads. So it's like, you know, when my son, if you don't know, he's going to be 11 next week, actually, on Wednesday. But he loves Lego, and he can just sit down and play with Lego, no problem. I'm just going to come through the middle too. And then we decide what way we're going to go. So he can just sit down and play with Lego anytime, you know, play with anything. Just zoom out a little bit so we get, there we go. So he's focused on it. Leslie is saying is better. Yeah, I think this one is better than this one as well. It sits much, much nicer, much neater, and much smaller as well. So I'm just going to pop it onto my wrist. This is going to be a really nice size for a bracelet. Now, I'm going to put it down this way. Are we going to go? Actually, I think I like it better this way. So, are we going to go horizontal or are we going to go vertical? I think this one kind of wants to go horizontal, like the same way we went with this one. But I think we're not going to add seed beads in between here. I think that will be the trick. They're not adding seed beads in between here because that's what it's like, sort of bubbling up in the middle. So there's not going to be any seed beads in there. Maybe later in the top, but not for now. So I think horizontal or vertical. Let me know in the chat what way do you want me to go. Oh, good evening, Dean. Fran is saying horizontal. Lucy is saying, this is why I love Creation Station. I just watched you play with different beads. It's relaxing. Leslie's saying is better. This is sitting very well. Brenda is saying much better. I like the better than the first one, Caroline was saying. Lucy's liking this one better. Yes, I like this one better as well. Horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. Everybody's saying horizontal. Yes, I agree. Horizontal and no seed beads. Yes. That design verse, like I think horizontal will look good. Right, cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do very, very quickly, I'm going to bring up the... Ooh, Brenda. Brenda sent me some beautiful pictures. So I'm going to grab these pictures and I'm going to show you what Brenda has been making, because she has been making some amazing amazing jewelry there. Right, bringing the first one in, and I'm just gonna, so Brenda have used these beautiful beads. That is such a lovely pattern as well. I like, you know, that one is really simple and but it's really, really effective. And you're only using the kelp beads, and you're only using, are they 6mm? I think they are 6mm glass beads, aren't they? And size 11 seed beads. If I'm right, let me know, Brenda. But that looks beautiful. And Brenda's saying these bracelets she made this week. So that's the first one. And I'm going to bring in the second one. And I've seen this second one on Facebook already. And I am loving it. It's beautiful. But anybody else, if you have been playing with your pack, please do send the pictures in so I can show it off to everybody as well. I love this one as well. They're really nice. They sit quite well as well, those beads, and just having the seed beads between it. And like here, you only got a few beads, a few parpuka beads, and the rest of them are seed beads. Oh, Lou's saying beautiful, Brenda. And Brenda confirmed that bracelet did have the 6mm bead we just added. So Lucy's loving that. Right, and there is one more, and I'm going to bring this in as well, if my computer lets me. So please do send me pictures, either a messenger. Actually, I'm going to set an email address up so you can email it as well soon. But that looks really good as well. So here we got the telos beads. And aren't they size 11s or are they size 15s? They kind of look like size 15s, Brenda. And I reckon they are, just zoom in a little bit more, they are little crystals. So the crystals are, I'm just guessing here, are they 2.5 by 3.5? Do let us know. I love guessing like what size beads or what they were there, but that looks beautiful as well. They're, again, just a few different patterns. Lou was saying gorgeous, really like that. Oh, nice, Brenda, beautiful colors, love them all. Right, that is gorgeous, Brenda, beautiful, Brenda. Yeah, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna do the next. So we're gonna go horizontal and we're not gonna add seed beads in the middle. So I kind of need to get to, where I am, there I am. So I need to come out of this seed bead here. I wonder if I should go run around one more time just to make it tighter, but I think we will be fine. So we're just going to come out of this last seed bead, but then this is going to pull it this way. Maybe that's what we do. We add a seed bead on. So we're going to have one seed bead gap there. I'm going to add one seed bead on. And then when we run around it, we're going to ignore that seed bead is existing there. So I'm going to pick up a seed bead. Again, I need my little triangles. So I'm picking up a seed bead. Now I'm going to pick up, let's just go back, and I am going to put this together. So whenever you're not sure what bead goes where or what way do you need to pick it up, always just pop it down on your mat in front of you and just plan it out, because that just makes it so much easier. So I'm putting, you know, these beads, they got 2 holes on them. I'm putting them towards our little house beads here. Our little Pyrrhus beads. There we go. And then we need a couple of super K-ups. So I'm going to add one to one side and the other one to the other side. So by doing this, just adding it down on your mat, again, you're going to bring your pattern in and you can actually see your thread path. You can actually invigilate that how you have to go. Dorothy saying bats. Oh, Halloween. Yeah, that would be really good. Yeah, that did look like bats a little bit. All right, okay, so I'm going to go through. I picked up one seed bead. I'm going to go through this outer hole. There we go. And I'm going to pick up another seed bead. And I'm going to come through all of them again. So I'm kind of just like right angle weaving it here. Just forming another loop. I'm pulling this up nice and tight. So yes, we needed that one seed bead just to sit there to keep us that grab. So I'm going to go into the seed bead we just added and I'm going to try to get on the other side here, because we need to get to the middle holes. So I'm going to go into the seed bead. Or can I turn? No, I'm going to into the seed bead, because I think that's going to create a more complicated one. All the way down through the triangle, the Pyrrhus and the other triangle as well, come out. And now we kind of need to reverse engineer, because we're going to pick up 4 seed beads and we're going to come from the top, the same as we did with our little Helios. So I'm picking up 4 seed beads and I'm going to come back from the top. I need to go through this hole and I'm going to come through the second holes on these, the 3 holes, and pull this up nice and tight. There we go. This one is all going to even up in the end when we run around it. Was it 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it was 4. Now I'm at the bottom here. I'm going to go into this bead. So I need to come through this way. And I'm going to also need to pick up a couple of seed beads so I can turn around inside it. There we go. And I'm going to come back through this super K-up. So the K-ups and the super K-ups, the difference between them, I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, but the super K-ups have got like a triangle, like they're more like 3D, and the K-ups are flat. So I'm going to pick up this side and then go through the other end. There we go. Pull this up nice and tight. Right, so we're going to add 2 seed beads in here, and then we're going to come through, and then we're going to go all the way around. And if you do another unit of this, because actually I really quite like the look of this, we will see like if we can come up with a better thread path, because often like you make the piece up then if you look at the same piece 6 months ago, I guarantee you like you will do a completely different thread path what you did before. Just coming to the other side through the seed beads, and then we need to pick up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then come through these and turn. I'm going to pick up another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to come up to the top 2 and continue into the 4 we have there already. Good evening, Gesha. And then I'm going to go back down onto the other side. I'm liking this. I think this pattern is going to be a keeper, because then, but at the very end, we could come through and add just a tiny little crystal in here, and that would just sparkle it up. Right, and I'm going to pick up another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go through these seed beads, and then we are back in a position we were just a minute ago before we added that unit coming out of that seed bead. That actually sits really nicely. Let me just pop it on my wrist. That does really sit near nicely, but I think we either need a tiny bicone or something in a corner later on, but not just yet. After we added the clasp or something else, I'm going to add another unit in here. This one is definitely, I like this one. And see, we needed that one seed bead there just to keep the gap, otherwise it would have be a thread showing where that seed bead is sitting right in that corner. Brenda is saying that looks really good, but thank you, Brenda. I love this. Lucy's saying, Michelle is saying very nice. But this is it. We're just playing with it, like, you know. This with the Helios didn't work. Well, it kind of worked, but it didn't really, because it doesn't really sit as nice. This one sits together very nice, and I think putting the Paris beads Piros beads in the middle just gives that spot of color. But if you didn't have any Piros beads, we could add a seed bead in between in each hole. We could have the bugle bead, a cube bead, a crystal bead, anything you fancy there. So let's add another unit on. I'm gonna plan the unit out again, so let's just get these guys to the side, because I quite like the look of this. So let's add another 1 or 2 units, and then I'll grab some crystals or pearls or something we can pop into that corner. Just for me, I just want to add something into that corner. Often when I design a bracelet, I'm not going to go ahead and make a whole bracelet length, because otherwise they're going to be, especially if I make it for my own wrist, we're going to be here like all night. And I've got quite a chunky wrist. So usually what I do, I just do maybe like 3 inches worth. So what happens is, like, they're just little swatches, and when I have like sort of time and I sit down and make a whole length up, but usually it's always starts with tiny little swatches just like that. Right, so I need 1 more of those, and I'm gonna pop this in here. And when I'm making up the second time, I might even, like, you know, I might decide to try it with 15s. Like, how would it look like with 15s? Obviously, it's not going to be 2 and 4 seed beads. Maybe like 3 and 5, or I don't know, whatever number is going to come out, but might try it with 15s. All sorts of different things you can try. So as I'm coming out of this seed bead here, I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead, and I'm going to come and pick up the Cheops from the single hole towards the end when there is 2 holes. I'm going to pick up my Piros. And this one has got the hole. Sometimes you can get 1 or 2 bead where the hole is blocked. So I'm just going to poke it through with a needle. There we go. I'm going to go through, yeah. Then you're going to pick up the Cheops from the hole, from the 2 hole end towards the single end. For these ones, it doesn't matter what way you go because they are flat. And then we're going to pick up another seed bead, and we're going to circle back on ourselves for our previous unit, just to sewing it together. And then I'm going to go ahead and get to the top here. So I'm going to go through the seed bead, and these guys all the way to the top. Now I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to come back to that Cheops bead, There we go. And through these guys here on the free hole. I'm going to pull this up nice and tight. Just like that. I'm going in this side. I'm going to pick up a couple of seed beads. Take these down. See, this is like, I didn't pick this up the right way. Can you see? Because I went through the hole from the single to the double hole end, but I didn't pick up through the right single hole end, because if I turn around, my thread path would be that way. So I need to pick it up. I don't need to go through this hole. I need to go through the other hole. So when you're working with super caps, because they're not flat on both sides, they are going to be, you're going to have to pay attention which way you're picking them up. But it's only like, you can always just take the bead off and go back. That's it. That's the right one. Oh no, it was the wrong one. I'm going to take a sip of my Coke because my bracelet is upside down. Look, so I did pick up. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, the point is, have a think, have a look what way you're picking up that bead. And if you're unsure, just get that bead, pop it next to your working pattern, and very quickly you're going to find out which changes by looking at it. Oh, the 2 holes are there because I want the 2 holes on the outer edge. I know which one I need to go through. Silly me, this is what 3 hours of sleep gets you. There we go. And then we're gonna come through the other hole, and I'm gonna pick up this pattern again. And go through the super K up on the other side. I think this is gonna sit nicely. Now I'm gonna, as I'm coming out at the top. So we picked up 2 seed beads in the previous unit, I went down and started to circle around. If we went that way, no, I think we need to do just like that, because otherwise you're gonna have to go back on ourselves again anyhow. So I've just picked up 2 seed beads through the other hole. I'm coming towards the bottom, and I'm gonna add. Have I not gone through it? No. To this super caps. Do the 2 seed bead. And this is saying try to get early 99. I don't know. I am such a mink for staying up late. Going through there. And those 2 beads. And then picking up 4 on the other side. And then coming through the seed beads, sewing them together. Coming down. So I'm just going around that last unit and adding the missing seed beads, and another 4 on this side. So comparison, I'm just going to pop the other one next door to it. I'm going to weave my thread until I come out of here. Comparison, this one works perfectly, fits together. Where is the other one? Where is the other one we just did? Where's the other one gone? Come out here. So compared to this one is like, this one fits perfectly. This one is like a nah, like, if I'm sure if you like played with it, we could improve on it. But I think it's like this one looks so much better. So rather concentrate on this than taking that further. So that could be that. There is other things that we could try with that one. So you would go ahead and just repeat adding the units until you get all the way around. It does look really nice, making the bracelet all the way down. I probably would add a I would add a 2-loop clasp to this one, I think. So I would come out at the end, pick up a couple of seed beads or maybe just one, go through loop on the clasp and loop back and do the other side as well. But like the clasp is really your choice. Like you could add all sorts of different ones, but whatever you really prefer. Shirley saying this lovely, thank you. Mina saying looks lovely, thank you. Lucy's saying she's going to try to make it. You do try. Please do try. And if you do complete the whole bracelet before me, then I'm expecting some pictures sent to me so I can show it off to everybody as well. Right, so what other things we could add in? If we didn't add those in, I'm just going to grab these out because I just seen something else. Because these beads fit together so perfectly, I wonder if they would fit nicely on the bottom of this, like that. I don't see why not. The same principle would work with these ones as well. Then that could be a nice little pattern as well, using them that way. I think it does need a gap in the middle of some sort, like here. I think it does need a tiny bit of gap. If we added, no, it's not going to be the right angle if we add another one of those in. Let's have a think. I think it needs something straight. So again, it's going to be the Pyros. But equally, I just seen these guys here as well. So we could do something where we have got them sitting on the top. I would probably want to do this for a necklace rather than a bracelet. And work out a way how to slightly curve it. I think this would look nice for a necklace, like little droplets on the necklace as well. I'm going to leave this one with the Cheops and the Super Cheops because I think that combination is not going to look as well. But this combination, however, I think it's going to look great. So let's just put this, I'm going to put the other one to the side and we're going to go and start visualizing this, the next pattern. We got another hour, we got so much time. We can play around with this. Now this one could be just a straightforward stringing on because you don't really need to add really much to it, unless if you want to. And this one, oh, I'll tell you what. I got one of these. This one will make life a bit easier. I think that would look nice. So if we can get them sit. So these ones, they're called Amos beads. They're like a drop shape and they do have got 2 holes going through them as well. Most of these beads, apart from two of them in the whole pack, have got 2 holes beads. And these ones, these half circles, they're called KOS, K-O-S beads as well. I think these would look really nice. And actually, I'm just thinking if we had, how would that look? So if we had another one on the top, and they would actually close together some way. Ooh, look at that. I think that would look really good as well. There we go. I think that would look beautiful. So we'll need 1 seed bead in between there. And then I think we got ourselves a nice little pattern. And I would do this on a necklace. So the next unit, you would want some, you don't have to have things between, I guess. But I think you might want to add a pearl or something in between so they sit a bit apart. But this might look nice as well. Now the trick to do a necklace Is not, as this is going to have multiple rows. The bottom row is your largest row, meaning that has got the most beads on there. So if I want to do this in an angle, all I have to do is just add a seed bead into the bottom. It'd be in between in between the two units at the bottom, and don't add the seed bead at the top, and that will naturally curve our pattern. So let me just pop this in here. I think this one look good too as well. Absolutely, but we definitely need something in the bottom. So how shall we do this? So I've got 2 holes. So top hole, bottom hole is going to be that. So we need the first, what we do. Oh, how about this? Would this fit on the top? Yeah, I think they would fit on the top. That would look good, and probably one will fit in there as well. So Wendy's saying more ideas for me. You got this. Oh, thank you. So I think that would look nice as well. Do we want 2 bits on there? Do we want 2 cross beads on the top, or do we just want one with one Amos with 2 of these on the side? Do we want, and this could go all the way. So do you want multiple rows, or do we want more simpler, something like this? This looks like a girl with the headphones on. Somebody with headphones on. Do we want a headphone version, or do we want something a little bit more decorative? So do we want, I think this would look nice as well. Sometimes less is more, I have to say. I mean, we still be adding seed beads and other bits of pieces in between, so it's still going to, like, you know, we can make it look like fancy, even though, like, we're only doing glass rows here. So there's loads of different things you can do. Come and turn. Maybe the simple one would be quicker. So that would have to have something in the middle. Do let me know. Are we gonna go with more simpler or more of a pattern? I can, if we dress this up with seed beads, I think this could look really nice as well. And actually, there's no reason why we couldn't add another drop just in there. Oh yes, oh yes. And then what we can do is have a row of seed beads, because don't forget these have got 2 holes, and I'll show you the holes just in a sec. So we could add seed, I love this, and seed bead loops at the bottom. That would look really good. So Amos beads, they're little drops. They have got 2 holes on them. Can you see? So we got the hole right at the pointy end. Come on, camera. There we go. We got the hole right at the pointy end, and we got a hole further down towards the middle as well. Now these guys, they got 2 holes as well. This half circle cross beads. So they got 2 holes as well. So I think they will fit together nicely. I think my naughty comments stopped coming in, so I need to pull them in from here. Sometimes it makes it it will come back. Right, the last one I can see was from Wendy. So if I go back, yeah, loving this idea too. Can make so much of these beads. The 2 triangles with the teardrop bead. I put a small pearl on the top, and it would make a nice earrings. Yeah, that would work as well. Multiple rows looks fab. I don't know why, but they remind me of Fuss. Simpler, Brenda is saying, and is saying, I don't know why, but they remind me of fuchsia blossoms. Oh yeah, like they're dangling down. Yeah, I can see that. Right, if you do this simpler pattern, we're gonna have to work out what beads are we gonna add and where they're gonna go. I think we still need one of this at the top there, because they're gonna be, yeah, I'm gonna have to add those in at the top. So I'm gonna quickly grab my thread and pop this to the side. Thread another needle up, and then we're gonna, with this one, we're gonna run all the way to the top. We're gonna run and be backwards and forwards, and I love doing necklaces like that when we run backwards and forwards, because you got multiple opportunities to like kind of stop or add more. Like when you're running backwards and when you're doing units like this, yes, of course we can run around at the end and add bits of pieces in there, but the units are kind of like made. When we're doing a running up and down necklace, and I'm going to use this thread, then you really have got the choice that if you're gonna add another row, or you can just simply stop. It really is up to you. So you can always embellish it further. There we go. Come on, thread. What happens to you? I'm not being very lucky with the thread tonight. I know it's gone through. So we're gonna have to pick up, and I'm gonna take these guys apart. I'm gonna leave this here, just sort of it reminds me, and I'm gonna get the next one. It would have to be two little ones, here and here. Yep, and then the next two would be these two. So I'm just kind of like looking at the pattern here, but I'm going to leave this here on my mat, and I'm going to start picking them up. I'm going to start with one of those small ones. Just grab some onto my mat. And then we're going to have to pick up one cross bead from the outer to the inner side. Then we're going to go through the top hole on our Amos, inner side to from the flat to the curvy end. Then another little guy, and I'm going to take this down. There we go. And I think, yep, that's going to sit nicely. I'm going to pick up another one of these, so the curvy side to the flat side. Then I'm going to pick up an Amos, flat side to the curvy side, and another one of these little minnows. These little round, they're just cylinders. It's just a cylinder shape. They called minnows. Right, let's have a look. Let's pull this up nice and tight and see how is this going to sit. Yeah, look at that. That's going to curve beautifully. That just already giving a natural curve. And then, because you're going to be adding another Amos in there on the next row, so I'm going to pick up maybe about another 4 or 5 units. And then we're going to turn around, because don't forget, we're just making little snippets. We're just working out the patterns. Louis saying I really like them both. Kim is saying simple one is better. Leslie is saying, could you alternate the direction of the Amos drops? Yes, you could. So if you made a bracelet, but then if I wanted to turn this into a bracelet, I would do it slightly differently. And if you have time for that later on, I'll show you that one as well. Right, costs. So we going from the curvy to the flat end, picking up the Amos by the smaller hole, flat to the curvy, another one of these little guys. Amos, flat to curve, little guy. Like kind of once you get into it, like the pattern will come, like you can pick these up like beads really, really quickly. Oh, Dorothy's saying she sees them as little angels. Right, so they're just gonna sit there. They look really, it's gonna look really cute. I'm gonna add a few more, just so that we have got like a nice amount to work with. Another 2 unit. So this is probably about coming up to 4 inches, I guess, about 10 centimeters. So I'm just going to turn back on myself because let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I always do this. Let's add one more for good luck. And one more unit for good luck. And there we go. We're going to need to turn around and but then we got uneven number and even number, and I like to work with uneven numbers. So you got, but then that's going to be okay. Isn't it lovely when you talk to yourself? You always agree with yourself. Right. So as I'm at the end, and I need to come out of this one, and obviously there would be one of these guys here, but I'm not going to add that there because I might turn this into a little, just sort of like a front piece for a necklace. If this works out, I'm actually gonna go and use these beautiful rose gold seed beads I have got here, just like slightly different color from the gold, because I think this burgundy and this beautiful creamy green needs something different. So that guy is gonna go in there. So I'm gonna pick up maybe 3 seed beads if I want a little loop on there, and I'm gonna come through. So we went through the top hole here. I'm going to come through the bottom hole of that, the bottom hole of our Amos, then the other bottom hole of the cost. I'm going to come through the whole very first unit. I'm going to pull this up nice and tight. And then I'm going to pick up, 2 seed beads, but on enough, doesn't matter. I'm going to pick up one of these Amos beads by the top hole. Then, oops, I mixed that, doesn't really matter. I'm going to come through my next unit. Make sure you're going through the second hole in every single one of that unit. And when I pull this up, see, can you see it's naturally curving? That's just really, really beautiful. I really love it. So let's go ahead and add the Amos beads in. I'm going to wrap this around my finger here so I can suspend this in the air so I can bead quicker. Well, when you're working with 2-hole beads, one thing what you kind of need to look out for, and I haven't really been turning my beads, I haven't been looking this evening, and we've been fine so far. Sometimes you can get a blocked bead. So what I mean by one of the holes is blocked, so you need to unblock it. And I just do that with a needle, just kind of put it down on my mat and stub it. There's only really very rare, like one bead when it doesn't come out. I think that's going to look really good. What do we think so far? Now I can feel that this is curling up a little bit more than what I really would want it to curl. But I'm just going to go down all the way. And then we either need to leave a loose tension. Can you see like it's curving quite, if I pull it tight, it's curving tight a bit, but it might be all right just for a middle section. But if this happens and it's curling up too much, then what we need to do is to add a bigger bead at the top. So instead of using this minus bead, maybe a 4mm bead that will then flatten the top out a bit, and you're going to have more of a slanted, is that a word I'm looking for, version. Right, coming through these and pulling it up nice and tight. I'm gonna add them all the way down. There we go. And then adding the last unit. In, last Amos in. And then let's pop it down on the mat and we're gonna have a look. Yes, so it is quite like sort of tightish on the top. Definitely if I pull this up tight, can you see how much is that curling up? So we need something bigger at the top. If we had maybe a size 15 would do the trick, or as I said, a larger bead there. I'm just gonna leave a kind of like a loose tension at the top, and then we can sort that out later. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually I'm gonna pick up my 3 seed beads. I'm gonna come back through here. Just sort of I got a finish there, but then I'm facing the wrong way. So what can we do? If I now, before I pull it tight, so if I don't want to pull it too tight, because actually it would make a beautiful pendant, like a beautiful curved pendant. But if I don't want to pull it up that tight, what can I add into those gaps? I think if I add a size 11 to either side, it will be too much. But if you jump over those with 3 seed beads, that might just pushes it straight. So as I'm coming out of this Minos, I'm gonna go through the first unit. And I'm gonna pull this up and I'm gonna pick up 3 seed beads. Let's try 3. And I'm gonna jump over the Minos. And I'm just gonna go over this unit here. There we go. And I'm gonna pull this up nice and tight. So they will just sit above it, just like that. I'm gonna pick up another 3. And let's just see, yeah, it's straightening it already a little bit and pushing that Minos down, which is pushing the Amos down, which is not really what we wanted. But, or maybe if we add, hold on, hang on. So 3 seed beads perhaps is not enough then, and we need more because we want them to sit like that. So 4. Let's try 4 seed beads. So I'm gonna come back. Hopefully I didn't stitch through my thread. And add an extra seed bead. If you add 3, then it's just gonna push down on your on the Minos beads, which will push down on your Amos bead. Right, pull this up nice and tight. And I'm gonna add, hold on, I went through the thread there. There we go. And then I'm gonna pick up an extra seed bead and go through the next unit. Let's look at it now. Again, pop it down and just examine it. Yeah, the four seed beads like will sit nice and proud at the top. So I'm gonna pick up another 4. And just wrap the end around, and I'm just gonna pass over the Minos bead. Just straighten this up. Make sure it's not twisted, and come to the next unit. Just like that. There we go. I should have knotted the tail end and my working thread together, and that's, I can feel that already. That's pushing it apart enough that it's flattening our pattern out a bit. That curve we had on there is not so bad now. Make sure it's not. What way do you want to twist? There we go. So I'm picking up the next 4 seed bead and coming through the next unit. I'm pulling this nice and tight. Then following by that, I'm going to pick up another 4 seed beads and just all the way down and just have a quick look. I think that looks nice already. And then we're going to come and add more seed beads at the bottom, which is going to balance it out. So 4 seed beads next unit, 4 seed beads next unit, all the way down. But I guess if you would have knotted our tail end and you're working them together, then our thread would have tightened and this would have curved. So maybe it's better that we didn't. But then if you do your pattern, perhaps you don't start, perhaps we start with the seed beads, adding the seed beads in. Right, if you got a question, please put a Q in front of your question so I can very easily identify it and read it out. And he's saying very dainty, you could use a couple of size 15s. Yeah, we could try that as well. You can like that. This is what I love about beadwork and jewelry making, that you can have very similar look with two different techniques just by tweaking it. Like what I'm thinking like here is kumihimo. I don't know if you are, many of you familiar with kumihimo. And then doing beaded crochet. They look very, very similar. And with the naked eye, you probably like, if you don't, unless if you're starting to take it apart, you're not gonna know which one is, well, if you like, when you've been doing it for a long time, you will know, but a lot of people wouldn't be able to tell which one is kumihimo and which one is beaded crochet. So as I am just here at the end, I am gonna come down to, I need to get to this second Amos, and I want to come through the second hole because I'm going to add seed beads at the bottom as well to balance the top. So I am going to just go through the minnows, through those seed beads we added at the end, into our cross and Amos. And actually I'm going to stop on the other side of the Amos bead there, and that's where we're going to leap out from. So I'm going to pick up a seed bead and just slide it down and see where does that, how much is that. Yeah, I think that will be enough. So I'm going to pick up one seed bead, go through the second hole on the Amos, and now I want to link this Amos up with this one. So I reckon we're going to need 5. So I'm going to pick up 5, but before I go through, no, actually I could go to the Amos. No, let's take the beads down first. There we go. I think we might need, yeah, we're going to need some more, maybe one more. I'm going to go for 6 and then through the second hole on the Amos. If I pull this tight, let's have a look. So that's pulling on the top, so 6 is not enough. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to add one more. So we are 7 now, coming through the Amos. Pulling it up. Let's have a look. I think we could do with 8, because if I pull this tighter, maybe 7 will work. I'll try and add another couple on, and then we see how we go. So I'm going to add 7 seed beads, and I'm going to go through the bottom hole, the second hole of every other Amos, just like that. Let's see. Yep, I think that's kind of like sitting nicely. It does need to be tweaked, but I think it's sitting nicely. It's giving you quite a nice and pretty pattern, but I'm not sure about the 7 seed beads. And that is 7. But let's get to the end of the row and then we see. There we go, coming to the second one again. What do we think so far? Do let me know in the comments. Going through the second one, picking up another 7. And coming through this one. And finally, my last 7. There we go. And I'm just gonna pick up 1 seed bead and go into this guy here. Definitely, again, needs tweaking because I want this to sit better, but it is like it is bunching up, it's bunching back up. So definitely need tweaking, but it is such a pretty pattern that I think it's just worth playing with it. So let's have a think. Let me know in the comments, what do you think we should or could do differently so the beads are sitting better? Maybe we need to go back and add them unit by unit. Maybe we need some seed beads in between. Let me know. Loving what you are making, Pamela is saying. We just been playing around, Pamela. So if you just joined us, we played around with the caps and the super caps, and this is probably going to turn into a little bracelet. So we're going horizontal with that one, and I'm probably going to add a little pearl or crystal in the corners there. Then we played around with these Amos beads, but they need tweaking because they're not sitting right. So what can we do? Maybe it would. And it's saying, like, why you are doing that, I'm gonna pop to Messenger and see if we got any more pictures from anybody. And if you haven't sent your pictures through, please do send your pictures in. Just send it to me on Messenger, and then I can pop it in to show it to everybody. Right, let's just go pop on here. If you got a question, please put a Q in front of your question so I can very easily identify that question is for me. Right, I'm just going to look on here as well. Right, now we're all good. So, what shall we do? Gwen is saying looks good. It doesn't really sit well, Gwen. I think we need something. Do let me know. What do you think we need to change on this pattern? Because it's something just doesn't sit well there. Something doesn't sit well. So, what shall we do? What shall we change? And it's saying maybe it would help to add a picot to the bottom of each loop to keep the shape. Yeah, that could work as well. We could add like, we could go back and add another bead afterwards. This is saying something isn't right, but I just don't know what. And that's what we're gonna work out. Nicole is saying, I love the design. Maybe not skip. I think add seed beads to the others will hold better. Yeah, maybe if you add seed beads in between, it will hold better. Maybe another seed bead between the lost and lower Amos bead. Yeah, we could do like droop one down. I don't want to add a seed bead in between these two guys. I think that needs to stay as a unit. Right, I'm just going to cut this thread off. And I'm just going to do a unit by unit thing. I'm just going to grab some of those beads. So I'm going to make this first little unit, and I'm going to knot my end, my tail end and my working end together, so to form a nice base. So we're going to be quite tight. Maybe another seed bead in between the cos and the Amos bead. Yeah, that's what we're going to try. Right, so I'm going to make this into a little unit. just by itself. Then let's knot this together, because already this one, just by adding them this way, they are curving. So I'm going to go through them again just to be away from the knot. Can I go through, or have I added it too tight? This is the thing. Once you tighten it up, it will be harder to take your needle and thread through, because they are fitting together so nicely and tightly. So maybe we do need to add a seed bead in between here as well. So no, that's not going to work. So if I knot it right at the beginning, can you see that's not going to work? I can't easily go through those beads. So abandon this method. Abandoning this one. So it needs to be a little bit looser. So we're going to have to go up and down. So if we're adding, I wonder if we add a seed bead and 2 seed beads at the top. But if we take out this minnow bead and we just have seed beads, so instead of that minnow bead, we would just have seed beads there. What would, if we had 3 seed beads at the top to start with, but then it's still, no, we need more, because if you want to add a seed bead in the bottom to have a better flow of it. Okay, how about this? I'm going to start with an Amos. I know I still got the other one on the end, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to work things out. So I'll need a tiny bit of thread. I'm going to start with an Amos. I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads. Get to the other side of the Amos. Then I'm going to pick up another 2 seed beads. I'm going to come back on myself, but through the hole from the tail. Just like that. And then we're going to add the cross beads on the top of this. So I'm going to come through the 2 seed beads there. I'm going to go from outer, the flat to the curve end. And then I'm just going to come back through and sew this here. I just want to see how would this sit if we had a seed bead in between. And then we can obviously work out a better thread path for it all. I think it's actually adding the seed beads in between makes it look nice as well. Right, so there is our little unit. There we go. So I think this one looks quite good as well, with the seed beads in between. And if you have those seed beads in between, they're even creating even more of a V shape. So we need to counterbalance that V shape with our next unit. So if I'm counterbalancing the V shape with the next unit, then this should have they should go together like that. And then we pop a seed bead on the top. And then what will happen is, will we have to run down all the way? Then what will happen is we can add into those seed beads, and then on the top, yeah. So I'm gonna come through this cross bead. I'm gonna go from the other cross, from the curve to the flat side. Then I'm going to pick up an Amos by the thicker hole. I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads. Oh no, 2 seed beads, no. Yes, but we do need 2 seed beads here as well. 2 seed beads. We're going to pick up the Amos. I'm going to come back on this. I'm going to add a seed bead on the top here. Or we can add the minnows actually. And then come back to here. That would look, oh look, they look little butterflies together like that. Well, not exactly, but you know what I mean. I'm going to come to these 2 seed beads. And then what we can do is to have enough seed beads between here and here. So if I pick up, I want to add that in there. So if I pick up, I reckon 2 seed beads, and I just need a few more seed beads. I pick up 2 seed beads. I pick up an Amos and another 2 seed beads. And then it's saying like the, Lauren is saying looking good, and then saying like the necklace. So I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, Amos by the thinner end, another 2 seed beads, and you're going to go up through these 2. So now we are suspending that underneath it, and then we can start our next unit. So I think that might work out better. So I'm going to go to the Amos, to the thinner hole, pick up 2 seed beads, then come back to the thicker hole. What do we think? And I'm going to go up through the 2 seed beads again here. I'm going through these 2 seed beads quite a lot. So I might need to add a size 8. Pull this up nice and tight. And now it's not curving enough. Now it's not going to curve enough because the next unit will be on the top of that, so now it's more straighter and we need to curve it more. So I think we need to add something like, we need to lengthen it here so the whole unit turns around. Let me just add one more onto this, just for, and actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to add these 2 seed beads enough. I'm going to add a couple of seed beads on the top there. No. Let's add 3. And see how will that sit on the top. I think that's going to sit good. And then I'm going to come down these 2. There we go. And then I would go into the next unit. I really like it. I like how the seed bead is weaving around it. But we just need to work out a better way how we can add these together. Another seed bead. There we go. To make them sit. Oh no, the other way. I picked it up the wrong way. No. There we go. And coming through those. I'm just gonna have to take it. So I'm picking it up from the flat to the curve end, and then picking up 2 seed beads. I think we're gonna have to play with this next week. I'm gonna have a little think about it during the week because I just really like the look of these. I like those Amos beads, and I like these cross beads as well. And then from here we would have to go and start adding the next unit and so on. So yes, I think this has got mileage in it, and actually we could work out a way like how would be doing, like, you know, when you do the St. Petersburg stitch and then each one of them is sitting a little bit further up. So we could work like something going more towards that way and having something different in the middle, that would look really good as well. So there's loads of different things we can do with this. I'm not going to start another one because it's 10 to 9 and I definitely need to get to bed early tonight, since I only slept like 3 hours last night, naughty me, and the naughty cat waking me up at 4 a.m. But I think this one is definitely have got more mileage in it. So I like how that the seed beads sort of curve. I just need to think about it. How are we going to turn this into more of a curved necklace, and how is it all gonna sit? But I already like it, and actually this would make nice, really nice earring as well if you carried this on to the top just with another two. Like, imagine these are not here on the side, just imagine those drops, and then we would carry another 2 drops here, like we would weave them up just like that, and then we would have maybe another drop on the top. That would make a really nice dangly earring as well. So there's loads of different things. Or maybe we could work out a pendant like that and then have some sort of things going to the side. Right, chat keeps disconnecting on and keep trying, but they lose picture. Internet maybe, Lon is saying. I'm not sure, might be your end, lovely. Try to go out and come back in. Leslie's saying a heavier bead in center of the seed beads. Yeah, could try that one out as well. Louis saying all working fine here. Lona, maybe your end. Lona is saying all looking good. Like the necklace, Diane is saying yes. I really like this one as well. So this one is a cross bead. Maybe another seed bead in between. Yeah, we could try all sorts of different things, but we're gonna have a little play with it next week. Right, I quickly want to show you that what we're doing in the bead club next week. If you are not a member of the bead club, do check it out. So this is what we did last week. We made this. I'm just gonna take this out of that. We made these little crosses, and this week coming we're gonna be doing hearts. These little beauties made out of crystals. So do check that one out as well. beadclub.co.uk, when you can book, where you can book onto the class, and you get your PDF. You get like a couple of hours. We're doing it through Zoom, so you get to meet all sorts of lovely ladies as well. So we're doing this one this week. Really, really beautiful. I love sewing, making beaded beads, and sewing little beads together. To make a pendant or something, or bigger one like that. It's been a great creation station tonight. Thank you so much, Kittyver. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and turning up and just watching. Really, I really enjoyed it. Let me come back to the main screen. So a couple of things. That was Bead Club on Thursday, Friday. I'm on Totally on Wednesday. What are we doing next week? I think we were doing something. If I haven't got a diary in front of me, my brain is like mush. I think we're doing, yeah, that's definitely. I think I'll be doing Halloween bits this week. So I think I'm doing the witch and ghost. I think I'll have to check it. But we'll be back next Sunday, so we're going to pick up where we left off. I definitely want to play more with these Amos and Cos beads because I think they look really, really nice. And we're going to work some little pretty pattern out. Looks like Christmassy yellow, and absolutely. It looks a little bit like that. Like, and we could do all sorts of different things. It looks like an earring. Andre is saying, I can't push the comment anymore because they stopped coming through, but I can still read them. Mina is saying, thank you so much. Nicola is saying, so many great ideas. I need to order some of these shapes so I can bead along. Thanks. So if you pop over to the website, which is totallybeads.co.uk, but I'm sure Lucy's going to pop it into the chat as well for us. So if you pop to the website totallybeads.co.uk, creation station, and each month we do a different pack. Now these Parpuka beads, we've been using them from September, so this is actually going to doing it for 2 months because there is 15 different shapes of them and there is no way we can get through them 1 month. But now there's going to be a creation station every Sunday, and there's an amazing 30% off on these beads. So, you know, you can go back and watch the previous ones as well, and we just keep using them. You know, I might add a seed bead or a crystal or something to the pattern, but backbone of the patterns are going to be those parpuka beads. Right. And if not, then actually I can drop the link quickly for you as well. Let me just go on. There we go. There we go. And it's the October one. So it should be, the pack should be £72.50 and it's £49.99. So you get a really good value with those beads, because you usually don't get like 30% off on I just popped it in the chat for you, on parpuka beads anywhere. Oh, Lucy pop the link in as well. I'll pop the link in. I think it's gonna come in as a from Restream. Oh no, it came in as me, Kitty Robinson Designs. Brilliant. All right then, my lovelies, have a beautiful week, everybody. And I'll be back next Sunday here at 7 p.m, a usual time. Otherwise, you find me on Totally Beads as well. Wednesday, Natalie's on tomorrow. Totally, she is doing, I think, skull jewelry. So we've got all sorts of goodies coming your way. Everybody have a beautiful week, and I'll see you very soon. Bye. Bye, everybody. Have a good